Hi guys, it's your girl Karen Akari and welcome back to my channel. And today's reading is going to be about what's coming to find you. Alright, and here are the three images. So this is pile 1. And this is pile number 2. And this is pile number 3. Okay. Alright. Let me do this one more time for you guys for the pile selection because today's images are a little bit different from usual. Pile number 1. Pile number 2. And pile number 3. Actually, yeah. Pile number 3. One more time. Pile number 2. And pile number 1. Okay, I think you guys seen it enough. Let's get started. Alright, so this is pile number 1, you guys. I want you guys to see as many details as possible because this is a really cool card and image. This is D&D, not inspired, but these are D&D cards, like D&D postcards. So, yeah, they're really cool. Alright, let's get started. Coming to find pile number 1. Sorry, my camera doesn't know what to focus on. It's coming to find pile number 1. Alright, let me just help it real quick. Okay. It's coming to find pile number 1. Okay. You have the Emperor, Page of Pentacles, and the Hanged Man. Underneath the deck, you have Eight of Swords. What's coming to find pile number 1? I feel like what's coming to find pile number 1 is, this kind of reminds me of one of the last readings when I was saying that someone had an aha moment coming towards them and that's what they're manifesting. But what's coming to find them, obviously, like, it's very similar where it's like that aha moment or the answer, but I feel like with pile number 1, what's coming to find them is a point to stop, like a point to stop and just look around you and look at how much you've grown. It's like you've earned that moment to just embrace your present and start realizing how much you have grown. And that's what's coming to find you, is knowing of how much you've grown as a person and how much you have matured in multiple ways. It could be, I don't want to say just through age, but it could be simply just some things, like so someone had tried you in the past, you might have had a big temper and you probably would have fallen off the handle. But if someone tried you again in the same way now, you would just be like, man, bump you, and you would just move on. And it's like, that's growth. It's like you're looking around to see how much you've grown. And you've grown a lot. And it took a lot of work, and it took a long time. A lot of work and a long process as well. And you should be proud of yourself, pile number one. Tell me more about what's coming to find pile number one. Okay. You have the Judgment, Ace of Wands, right? Knight of Cups. And underneath the deck, you have but underneath the deck, you have Six of Swords. Like I was saying with pile number one, you have the Judgment card where the Judgment, Ace of Wands, and Knight of Cups, where it's like you found balance. And what's coming to find you now is a new beginning, like a new beginning, and doing whatever it is that, whatever endeavor that you want, kind of like a new start. And for me, I feel like it's time for you to get your just rewards, like your good karma, or karma in general, good or bad. It's time for you to reap what you have sown. And that was what's coming to find you, is seeing how much you've grown and getting that karma back about what you've done. So if you've grown in a good way, then expect some good things. And if you haven't, expect you to learn some lessons so you can do the growth get the growth that you need. But I see for like pile number, hold on, is my camera doing it again? Okay. I see for pile number one, it's like what's coming to find you is literally a life that you've built. So it's kind of like whatever you've been putting in, you're receiving. And that's like, it's like once you look around to see like, oh my gosh, look at how far I've come, you're realizing that this is what you've created. If you like it, continue to do what you're putting in, continue to put what you're putting in, continue to put what you've been putting out. But if you don't like it, learn what it is that you're not liking what you're putting out and do the work to fix it. I think this is the moment that's coming to find you, is simply realizing you are where you are because of the things that you've done and the things that you've been putting in like your subconscious, mentally and physically. And I'm not meaning like anything like something that it was completely out of your control. I'm saying like, if you don't like I don't know, your sense of style, that those are your choices to pick those clothes out. You know what I mean? And now it's time for you to find the style that you like. You know, put in the work of putting in the life that you want. It's time for you to look at the life that you have and put in the work to getting the life that you want, if that makes sense. Anyways. I'm trying to find pile number one. Okay, you have Sheila Nagig, Gateways. Morgan Le Fay, Magic. Interesting. And then you have Freya, Irresistibility. And then underneath the deck, you have Gaia, Creation. Wow. Okay. I'm going to read out the deck for each one. Okay. You have Gateways, Chilena Gig. A new path opens to you, and you are protected. A rite of passage is close. You're about to pass through a new gateway that will change you. Do not be afraid to open up. Sheila Nagig is a cheeky, irreverent, and somewhat frightening. She may lead you astray, but she is one of the oldest energies of the Celtic lands. A a crone goddess, Sheila Nagig is depicted as a woman showing her genitals and is most likely to appear upon gateways, windows, and doorposts. Although some depictions are a little confrontational at first glance, Sheilas, as the carvings are affectionately referred to, are commonplace on sacred buildings throughout Ireland and England. Chilenagig is a protectress of gateways, with the female genitalia being the primary gateway, that of all life. While there is some conjecture about the full function, magical or otherwise, of the carved chilas, she is generally thought to serve as protection, scaring away evil spirits, or bringing good luck during birth. When you are about to pass through a gateway, such as graduation, a birthday, a rite of passage, or even a real gateway in a new home or school, you may wish to honor Sheila. It asks for protection. This is an old, powerful, magical energy, and as such is very effective. Her energy is jolly and, yes, a little wild, but always with a positive intent. Her symbols are dancing women with wild hair, women with legs open, gateways and stones. Like I was saying, for pile number one, it's like you're in a new place, it's like a new transition, and like we're talking about gateways, and then look, the judgment card, and like it's open. It's like it's time for you to move forward in your life, and you're going to be doing that through looking around and seeing what you need to like do. Like I was saying before, it's like kind of a moment where you're at this liminal space of where you are and where you're going, and it's time for you to look around at where you are so that you can get an idea about where you're going and embrace it. This is a very powerful space that like you're in Pal One. It's very interesting. All right, I'm gonna do Morgan Le Fay and then Freya, and yeah, then that will be like it for your reading. Morgan Le Fay, magic. You have power, and it's real. A secret will be revealed. You have an unexpected ally. Seek the truth. Try some magic. In the powerful legend of Avalon, the Lady Morgan Le Fay is a key and yet changeable figure, a mighty sorceress with skills in magic to match Merlin's. Legend casts her both as truth-seeking, harshly treated enchantress, and as an evil witch, plotting her half-brother Arthur's downfall. In the early tales, Morgan was either purely a member of the Fae, supernatural fairy spirits, or the talented sorceress of Arthur's mother, Lady Igraine, and her first husband, Gerloy, the Duke of Cornwall. According to early Celtic myth, Morgan is a mistress of magic, a knowledgeable spellcrafter, and a healer of notes. The Celtic also believe because of Morgan's Fey origins that she is a shapeshifter. As the myth developed further, became a mild antagonist to Arthur, attempting to expose Guinevere's adulterous ways or test those who were not loyal to him. As the myth evolved and became more Christianized, Morgan developed into a dark enemy who actively plotted Arthur's death. Her role changed so that she became a temptress who tricked him into making, doing the thing, doing dilly dallying with her, after which she bore him a son, Mordred. It was said that she trained Mordred to hate Arthur and wished to overthrow him as rightful king. Even though the stories portrayed her as a deadly enemy of Arthur, she was also one of the women who took Arthur in a barge to Avalon to be healed after his battle with Mordred. Here the story ends. Morgan Le Fay attempts to heal Arthur, indicating that it will take a long time. Morgan Le Fay enchants her way into your life to remind you that magic is indeed real, and the power of intention is great. There is magic in everything: nature, action, and especially ourselves. Those studying chemistry or physics can appeal to her for success. Morgan might also be tempting you to try some magic for your higher good and for the good of all. Morgan was caught up in many intrigues and lies, and when the veil finally lifted, she didn't always prosper. It is this aspect of her that reminds us that the truth in all things is often the best way to move forward, even if it may be hard. Yeah, like I was saying for pile number two, it's definitely time to look at where you are. And if you don't like it, like I said, do the thing, do the work to change it, but you have the power to do so. Like the power is in your hand. And whatever you want to come out of your life, it's your power. It's your job. It's your responsibility. No one else can do it for you. So yeah, like you make your own magic in this world. How number one. Sorry about my voice. I don't know why it started acting like this as soon as I did your reading. Interesting. All right, and then you have Freya, and then I'm going to close out your reading with one last little thing, and we're good. Freya, irresistibility. We are all irresistible in our own ways. Enjoyment is a natural part of life. Center yourself and be confident among chaos. Picture the most beautiful warrior woman standing proudly upon the battlefield, her hair whipping around her and her weapon in her hand. She stands proudly, head held high, eyes flashing, a feathered cape upon her shoulders. Around her neck rests the most magnificent gold ember necklace. Glittering against her skin, she is a figure of both fear and desire. Meet the Norse goddess Freya. Although she is a deity with many talents, including war, witch, and witchcraft, Freya is primarily considered a goddess of sexuality. Because of her independent and confident primal nature, unashamed of her beauty and power, she is often depicted naked, wearing nothing but the great constellation of a necklace called Bringsgamen. Fire. Freya's necklace, wrought with gold and amber, represents the power of the four elements and the infertile power of the synergy when the elements come together. When she wears it, she becomes irresistible to all. In the Norse myth, whenever she rode into battle, she received half the slain and Odin the other half. Her maidens, the Valkyries, assisted her in removing the heroic dead from the battlefield. Even after her her demise, men still wanted to be with her and fight alongside her. Freya was known for her wisdom as well as her irresistible nature, and Norse women sought her out for her blessings and advice on healing magic and relationship matters. Most of us could do with a dose of Freya's confidence and irresistibleness at some point. It is very easy to lose confidence when our feelings aren't reciprocated, when we haven't felt beautiful for a while, or after a breakup. Perhaps we have never experienced a solid physical confidence, and this holds us back from being confident and owning our true power. Freya assures us that we are all powerfully attractive. Her message is that external beauty is not enough. It is the confidence in our attractiveness that truly makes us beautiful. I think for pile number one, it's also just be confident in pursuing whatever it is that you want, and don't worry so much about what others might think. Don't be so worried about how you look or how it looks like to other people. Be confident in yourself. Like, it's your life. To have some confidence in that will make you more irresistible to the things that you want, to the life that you want, whatever that may mean for you guys. But what's coming to find pile number one is simply not whatever you want, but literally just everything that you've been putting in for yourself, whatever work that you've been doing for yourself. Like, let's say you've been working out, you're finally going to, like, one day you're going to finally look at yourself and see that you've lost the weight or gained the muscle that you wanted. It's like it's time for you to look at your life and see how much you've grown, and then learn how to, and then you decide where to go from here. What else do you want to do? Like, that's all that I'm saying for pile number one. But simply put, like, pile number one, it's kind of like it's time for you to take a minute and look at yourself and look around you about, and like make some list, maybe even journal about it, but like make a list about what you have and what you no longer want and what you want to change and what you appreciated through this journey. I know, like, the year is almost up, so I think that's really going to help you move forward in the next year. If that, I hope this helps. But yeah, you guys have a wonderful, wonderful day. I'll see y'all later. Hello, pile number two. This is your photo or your postcard. This is the map of Baldur's Gate. I know it's that, like, cool D&D game. I think it's just the map. I haven't played it yet. Let me know if it's fun. Okay, let's get into your reading about what's coming to find pile number two. What's coming to find pile number two? What's coming to find pile number two? Coming to find pile number two. You have the Sun. You have Queen of Cups. And you have Ten of Cups. Underneath the deck, you have Three of Pentacles. What's coming to find pile number two is joy, like just happiness, like unbridled joy, like no more stress, no more worries. I think pile number two, this is the, like, I'm seeing, like, what's coming for you is just something is going to make you extremely happy. It could be a new job opportunity or a new family member on the way, like, or a new lover, like something that's just going to give you complete and utter joy. And it could just be, I'm seeing kind of like the rainbow after the storm kind of thing. Like, you guys, it's been a lot, like, for pile number two, but it's like you're over that, and it's just time for you to focus on what's making you happy, like having fun with friends, just living your best life, honestly, like seeing the beauty with everything. tell me more about pile number 2. What's coming to find pile number 2? The world. Yeah. 7 of Swords. And Page of Pentacles. Underneath the deck, you have King of Cups. King, Queen, 10. Yeah, it definitely could be, for some people, a new love, like a new lover, and someone that just gets you, like, and kind of like all the warm, fuzzy feelings of that. Or it could simply just be, for pile number 2, it's moving on from what hurt, especially with this, the world, and you have the 7 of Swords. It's like you might have been going through it, you might have been betrayed, but you no longer wish to hold on to that. That's no longer your burden to bear. Like, you no longer have to bear the burden of other people's stupid actions. Like, it's time for you to enjoy your life for yourself. It's like the burden of being someone's keeper, of having to reap the consequences of everyone else's actions, and you just are the low man on the oh wait, can't say that. You're just always the odd man out. You know what I mean? Like, it's like that's no longer your story. It's like you've completed that chapter of always being the odd one out, the one left hanging, the runt of the litter. Like, it's no longer your story. You decided to make your own family, make your own happiness, own make your own story, make your own, like, you're no longer like in that kind of pattern of letting other people dictate what makes you happy or who you are. It's like it's time for you, what you're finding, it's time for you to make your own story, make your own happily ever after, even if that means cutting other people out of your life. It's like you're no long, like, if anyone tries to bring up old stuff and old things and old drama, you're just like, and like, you're just over it. Like, so what about it? Like, that's what I feel like pile number 2 is kind of saying. It's like they no longer want to bring up old stuff. They're just like, I'm only here for the new. I'm only here for things that make me happy. I'm finding myself and my peace. My peace is more important, and I'm really proud of pile number 2 for this. Okay, more messages for pile number 2. You have Lilith, equality. Oh, my bad, y'all. I did not notice until now, but I'm pretty sure nobody else noticed. But just in case, whatever. Yeah, yeah. Then you have Sekhmet, reduction, and then you have Maureen Lefay, magic. Okay. Underneath the deck, you have Kotesh, pleasure. Okay. I'm going to read these out of the book for you. Okay. You have Lilith, equality. An equal partnership is a positive goal. Your personal power may be challenged. Recognize the need for a balanced power in your body and in your relationship. Within Jewish folklore and within some mystical traditions, Adam had a wife before Eve. Her name was Lilith. God created Adam from clay and said, it is not good for man to be alone. He then created a woman from the same earth, exactly as he had created Adam. God then suggested they go forth and be fruitful, but Adam and Lilith began to disagree. I will not be below you. I am your equal, said Lilith. Adam rose up and answered, no, I am superior. I will always be on top. Lilith could not believe what Adam had said. She cried, we are equals, as we were made the same by the same God. They argued and could not come to resolution. Lilith flew away into the air as far from Adam as she could go. Adam watched, helpless as she disappeared from the view. He called to his God, the woman you have sent me has fled from me. God had heard him and sent 3 angels to find her. The Creator said to the angels, if she comes back, all is well, and I made her well. If not, tell her that she will be expelled and that she will agree that 100 of her children will die every day. I'm sorry, this is my first time reading this. The angel found Lilith over the sea, and they God told her of God's ultimatum. She thought carefully, but she would not. She thought carefully, but she would not return. The angels threatened to drown her, but she answered, leave me now. God curse has now cursed me to cause illness to babies. But if you leave me now, I promise that I will leave the children alone, who wear your names in amulets around their necks. Lilith was expelled from God's love, thus became a demon. Her children became demons too, and every day 100 of them died. However, Lilith kept to her word and spared any child wearing the angel's name on necklaces, and it is a tradition to this day that babies wear amulets for protection shortly after birth. Needless to say, Adam got a second wife, Eve this time made from his own rib. In this extremely patriarchal slant of the Hebrew and even Arabic tradition, Lilith quickly became demonized, a succubus who not only tempted men in their sleep but killed children. She was written out of the Bible, but Genesis still contains evidence of her. Genesis 2:2 God describes God's creation of Eve from Adam's rib, yet earlier passages 1-27 indicates that a woman had already been made. So God created man in his own image, and then image of God created him. Male and female created them. Male and female created them. Not surprisingly, Lilith became somewhat of a feminist icon in modern times and a much loved symbol of the feminine divine in Wiccan and certain occult traditions. Lilith is seen as a powerful force for equality between masculine and feminine, and for women to assert justice-filled power. In much of Western society, women are judged on their physical appearance and do not receive equal pay for the same work, and are underrepresented in government positions and in companies. In other countries, they're often the ones to suffer most during food shortages, given what they have to their children, and experience higher death rates due to maternal mortality. If Lilith is present in your life, examine if you are being treated equally, or if perhaps someone in your life, or if someone else is suffering from inequality. Are you Are your ideas being ignored because you are female or because you are young? Is someone else in the same position getting respect when you are not? Maybe it's time to be sure you are getting the respect and attention you deserve. Like I was saying, Pal, too, it's like you're no longer entertaining people who are not respecting you. Like that chapter of your life is over. And like this card, like the Lilith card, is here to signify that. It's like if no one's pouring into your cup, you're no longer pouring into theirs. Reciprocity. And then you have Sekhmet with reduction. All right. Okay. Sekhmet reduction. Allow what you no longer need to be destroyed or reduced. Build your build your emotional authentic build your emotional authenticity. You are protected when expressing your true emotions in appropriate ways. Imagine a goddess of the most incredible heat. Her breath itself created the desert, and her eyes are full of fire. Imagine that this goddess contains the energy of the mightiest cat, the lion, and the shares this fierce feline's proud and royal nature. If you can imagine a goddess like this, you have glimpsed the Egyptian goddess Sekhmet. Sekhmet protected the pharaoh and his people, particularly during war. Warriors invoked her bloodlust and wild energy prior to engaging the enemy. Once the fight ended, her priestesses performed a series of rituals designed to placate her immense energies, normally involving the element of fire. One story says that once after winning a terrible battle, Sekhmet maintained her battle rage and bloodlust. She looked around her and wished to spill more blood. The people trembled and the gods noticed. The god Ra turned the Nile red so that it looked like blood, and invited Sekhmet to quench her thirst there. She drank and drank, curbing her bloodlust. With an echoing roar of her lion's head, Sekhmet stepped into your life, asking you to burn away what it is you don't need. The fierce yet compassionate goddess can help you healthily release emotions that may have negative connotations but are not actually negative, like anger. We are always taught how to healthily deal with sadness, anger, depression, or even jealousy, but there aren't strange or unnatural emotions. In fact, everyone feels them at some point or another, but it's how we express them that makes the difference. In accepting these emotions and expressing them in a healthy way, we are able to release them and move on. By surrendering what you no longer wish to possess, Sekhmet's cleansing fires, you free yourself and are more able to move forward. Oh my gosh, like pile number two, like I was saying before, it's kind of like it's okay that you're not being super. I don't know, like sometimes like spirituality, people have to do this, like, oh, light and love, and like, oh, like anger, you're above that. No, sometimes it's okay to be mad. It's okay that you don't want to be around certain people that have done you dirty. It's okay that you choose your own peace rather than whatever they had planned for you. It is okay. And Sekhmet is here to tell you, like, no, like, take your anger and give it to her or give it to God, whoever you want to give it to. Just take your anger and release it and move forward and, like, know that happiness, not even like this happiness, is like you building the life that you want, like, and just whatever that looks like to you, fulfillment in the way that what it looks like to you is coming when you stop entertaining the people who have hurt you and realize you don't have to pour into their cups. This is your life. Like, that's what's finding you. Okay. And then we have Morgan Le Fay, which, it's funny enough, I read for pile number one. So if you did feel drawn to pile number one, this is a sign that maybe you should watch it. Or if you came from pile number one and you're in pile number two, what's up? Okay. Morgan Le Fay, magic. You have power and it is real. A secret will be revealed. You have an unexpected ally. Seek the truth. Try some magic. In the powerful legend of Avalon, the Lady Morgan Le Fay is key and yet changeable figure. A mighty sorceress with skills in magic to match Merlin's, legend casts her both as a truth-seeking, harshly treated enchantress and as an evil witch plotting her half-brother Arthur's downfall. In the early tales, Morgan was either purely a member of the Fae, supernatural fairy spirits, or the talented sorceress daughter of Arthur's mother, Lady Ingrain, and her first husband, Gilroy, the Duke of Cornwall. According to early Celtic myth, Morgan is a mistress of magic, a knowledgeable spellcrafter, and a healer of notes. The Celts also believe, because of Morgan Le Fay's origins, that she is a shapeshifter. As the myths developed further, Morgan became a mild antagonist to Arthur, attempting to expose Guinevere's adulterous ways or test those who were not loyal to him. As the myths evolved and became more Christianized, Morgan developed into a dark enemy who actively plotted Arthur's death. Her role changed so that she became a temptress who tricked him into making love with her, after which she bore him a son, Mordred. It was said that she trained him. It was said that she trained Mordred to hate Arthur and wished to overthrow him as a rightful king. Even though the story portrayed her as a deadly enemy of Arthur, she was also one of the women who took Arthur in a barge to Avalon to be healed after his battle with Mordred. Here, the story ends. Morgan Le Fay attempts to heal Arthur, indicating that it will take a long time. Morgan Le Fay enchants her way into your life to remind you that magic is indeed real and the power of intention is great. There is magic in everything, nature, action, and especially ourselves. Those studying chemistry or physics can appeal to her for success. Morgan might also be tempting you to try some magic for your highest good and for the good of all. Morgan was caught up in many intrigues and lies, and when the veils finally lifted, she didn't always prosper. It is the aspect of her that reminds us that truth in all things is often the best way forward, even though it may be hard. Yeah, for pile number 2, I believe that, I think you're finding the magic in yourself of standing your ground and choosing your own happiness, and choosing your own, what makes you happy, and choosing yourself. Like, that's magic in of itself. And another thing, it's just simply not letting other people get to you and the bitterness of what you've been through get to you and settle. But that's what's finding you. Pile number 2 is literally just pure, unadulterated happiness. I like genuinely, it's just finding fulfillment in yourself and whatever matters that concern you. It could be, like I said before, getting a new job, finding a new lover, but it's just making sure that you've got this through forming your own boundaries against people who wanted you to do things that you weren't standing for, and wanted you to be something that you just simply weren't. And you found happiness regardless of how others felt about it. And you're no longer a people pleaser, and that's okay. But anyways, pile number 2, thank you so much for spending this time with me. I'll see you in the next one. All right, bye. Hi, pile number 3. Okay, this is the photo you chose for your reading. I know, it's so pretty. It's low-key my favorite one. Okay, let's get started on what's coming to find you. Okay, it's coming to find pile number 3. Pile number 3. Okay. You have Three of Cups, the Lovers, and Nine of Swords. Underneath the deck, you have Three of Pentacles. What's coming to find pile number 3? What's coming to find pile? Give me a second. I think I'm going to need a moment for pile number 3 to understand this one. What's coming to find pile number 3 is healing your self-esteem and your self-worth. It's healing how you view yourself. And that could be through many ways, like doing mirror work where you look in your mirror and you give yourself affirmations every day of I am beautiful. Or it could be simply changing the way that you dress, changing the way that you do your makeup, or maybe even starting to do makeup. Whatever helps boost that confidence. But it's definitely for pile number 3, it's coming for you is healing your self-image issues. That could be a number of things, but it's focusing on you and your health and how you view yourself in the relationship with yourself. It might be time for this pile to take themselves out on a date, watch a movie with yourself, learn how to be by yourself and enjoy your own company, and not have the thought of you being by yourself give you nightmares or simply make you anxious. Learning how to be by yourself, for yourself, and loving yourself, pouring into yourself. Okay. Feeling comfortable in your own skin. Three of Cups again. You're finding happiness in your own presence. The High Priestess and the Chariot. Yeah, this is something that you know that you've been needing to do, but it's been something that you've been running from because it's hard facing yourself. Facing yourself is one of the hardest things, but you can't run from yourself. Pile 3. You have 5 of Cups underneath the deck. Yeah, it's like you simply, I promise you, you can't run from yourself. And you deep down, you know it. No matter what you do, no matter where you go, like no matter if you don't face yourself, it will just simply come to you. If you believe, if you're not comfortable with being by yourself while you're in a house full of people, then you're not going to feel good about it when you move across the country or move across the world. Like you're still bringing that with you, and you know that. And that's why for pile number 3, it's like it's time for you to feel that comfort within yourself. and learn how to be by yourself and pour into yourself and just look at yourself in the mirror without cringing. Take pictures of yourself without wanting to delete them. Yeah, this is that pile where it's like what's coming to you is simply the process of wanting to put in the work to love yourself. I don't think you're going to magically wake up one day and just boom, love yourself. That's not how that's going to work, unfortunately. But you're going to get that inspiration to want to do that, to do the work, to, I don't know, like if what you feel like you don't like about yourself is something weight related, either too this, too that, too small, too big, whatever, you're going to feel that inspiration to take yourself to the gym and work out so that you can get the desired look that you want. You're going to eat healthy and give yourself the food so you can feel better in your own body. Like I think this is definitely a mindfulness and wellness kind of reading where it's like you're going to be doing the work where you're putting you're pouring into yourself healthy things, not unhealthy um criticisms about yourself. You're pouring into, okay, well, I'm not a big fan of how this looks, but I'm going to work out so that I can get the desired look that I want and no longer be hard on myself. It's like you're learning how to slowly but surely become gentle with yourself. Okay, tell me more about Pal 3. What's coming for Pal 3? You have fast play, which is so funny that it's like for the Three of Cups, it's like having fun with yourself. Genuinely, like having, and it came out twice. Three of Cups came out twice. It's like you're finding ways to have fun with yourself and to play with yourself. Genuinely, like just having fun, like going to the movies, working out. I don't know. For me, low key, I'm exposing myself, but I love bubbles. Like I love blowing bubbles, and that's so fun. Like I would do that with myself all the time. You then you have Sekhmet reduction. All right, for pound, like what I was saying for pile 3, you have Sekhmet reduction, and then you have Himaya hope. And underneath the deck, you have Mayat justice. So honestly, pile 3, it's genuinely time for you to be okay in your skin and to have a good time. Okay, I'm going to read out of the book for all 3 of these cards, and then that's going to be it for your reading, pile 3. Okay, it is time to relax and be playful. Seek a balance between work and fun. Learn a difficult skill through discovery and play. Be curious. In ancient Egypt, domestic cats were very much a part of city and family life. In a time when rodents spread plague and disease, the services of fine feline hunters were appreciated. Cats became symbols of protection and loyalty, and were even mummified as companions and protectors of the dead in the afterlife. Bast was originally a lion goddess, somewhat like Sekhmet, but her leonine nature diminish in favor of the cat energy. Bast is an ancient goddess and is featured as in the Egyptian Book of the Dead. Statues of Bast usually depict either a woman with a cat's head or a regal, beautifully formed cat with royal symbols and sometimes a lion mask signifying a hidden, fierce nature. While Bast certainly offered protection to her worshippers in everyday life, she has also demonstrated a loving, playful energy. The Greek historian Herodotus traveled to Egypt in the 5th century BC and wrote of its experience at the festival of Bast at the riverside town of Bubastis. He told of people traveling down the river by a small boat and playing and jesting with people on the shore as they passed. The festival included a great sacrifice, and more wine is drunk at this time in one feast than in the whole rest of the year. Bass comes into your life as any cat does, powerfully yet playfully. She is wonderful to call upon when you feel depressed or low, as she helps you find what will make you feel happier in our busy lives and is eager to forget how to play. It is easy to forget how to play. And with this comes an unnatural seriousness. As the saying suggests, all work and no play makes us very dull. You may very indeed forget how to play. Children play naturally and learn this way as we get older. We gradually start to forget this skill. We may feel like we are too mature when we judge for having simple fun or have too many responsibilities to play like we used to. While our actions don't have to be the same, the enjoyment and sense of freedom should still be in our lives. Bass is also marvelously curious and can help you approach difficult issues with a sense of discovery rather than dread. You might enjoy widening your horizons by trying out for something you normally wouldn't, or learning something new. The energy of this feline goddess encourages you to satiate your curiosity. And like I was saying for pile number 3, it's definitely time to just have fun with yourself and just live. Like learning how to be and give yourself the grace to just exist is what's coming to find you. All right, then you have Sekhmet's. Allow what you no longer need to be destroyed or reduced. Build your emotional authenticity. You're protected when expressing your true emotions in appropriate ways. Imagine a goddess of the most incredible heat. Her breath itself created the desert, and her eyes full of fire. Imagine that this goddess contains the energy of the mightiest cats, the lion, and shares this fierce feline's proud and royal nature. If you can imagine a goddess like this, you have glimpsed the Egyptian goddess Sekhmet. Sekhmet protected the pharaoh and his peoples, particularly during war. Warriors invoked her bloodlust and wild energy prior to engaging the enemy. Once the fight ended, her priestesses performed a series of rituals designed to placate her immense energies, normally involving the element of fire. Once that one story says that once after winning a terrible battle, Sekhmet maintained her battle rage and bloodlust. She looked around her and wished to spill more blood. The people trembled, and the gods noticed. The god Ra turned the Nile red so that it looked like blood, and invited Sekhmet to quench her thirst there. She ran and drank. She drank and drank and drank. She drank and drank, curbing her bloodlust. With an echoing roar of her lion's head, Sekhmet stepped into your life, asking you to burn away what it is you don't need. This fierce yet compassionate goddess can help you healthily release emotions that may have negative connotations but are not actually negative, like anger. We aren't always taught how to healthily deal with sadness, anger, depression, or even jealousy, but they aren't strange or unnatural emotions. In fact, everyone feels them at some point or another, but this is how we express them that makes a difference. And accepting these emotions and expressing them in a healthy way, we're able to release them and move on. By surrendering what you no longer wish to possess, Sekhmet cleanses to submit cleansing fires, you free yourself and are more able to move forward. Yeah, like I was saying, pile number 3, it's time for you to like let go of whatever harsh criticisms you have or have for yourself, and this feeling of not wanting to be yourself or just be alone or whatever that energy is when it comes to yourself, like whatever that self-deprecating energy that you have for yourself, it's time to release that and move on. Okay, then you have Yimaya. Do not, Yimaya, hope. Do not give up. There is hope yet. A wish will be granted. A birth is imminent. Fertility is everywhere. Yimaya started life, her life as a Eritrea, a river spirit in Africa. As her people traveled over the ocean to other nations in slave ships, the she became, over time, a goddess of the sea. Her cult spread to Brazil, and she is still worshipped today in both these lands as a goddess of hope and love. Yemaya is often depicted as a mermaid slipping between the waves, with the light woven in her hair, and she is considered the nourishing mother aspect of all water. Yemaya is invoked in childbirth, and it is said that she created the sea and every man, woman, and sea creature. She is an extremely loving goddess who assists women in particular. Many homes that follow the Santeria faith have a statue of Yemaya, placed by the most senior woman who lived there. Yemaya is the most renowned for her ability to grant wishes. Those who feel that there is no hope for her go to her for intervention. She specializes in impossible wishes, one that look almost like miracles when granted. This wonderful ability spawned the ritual of Yemaya boats, a festival where thousands of people create little boats containing their wishes and hope that the goddess will assist them. Each supplicant places a lighted candle in the boat and then sets it on the water. If the boat makes it past the waves before it delves into the deep, it is said that Yemaya will grant the wish. Call upon the generous goddess of love, the generous love of goddess. Call upon the generous love of Yemaya when you feel hopeless or unsupported. Sometimes we all feel alone in something that we are struggling with. We believe that our family doesn't understand us and that our friends aren't seeing things from our side. These are the times that Yemaya can help us. Yemaya offers us a loving strength to help us know that there is a hope and that things will change for the better. A long held wish may well be granted when all else has failed. Pile number 3, I personally feel like what these messages are saying is that when it comes to dealing with yourself, it's okay, and that sometimes going to other people might not be the best case, but praying to whatever you believe in. If you want to pray to Yemaya or Sekhmet or even Bast or all 3 of them at different times of the day or whatever you want to do, it's okay. It's okay to lean on something that's not physical. It's okay to not always have to go to people. It's okay to not always have to have like all the answers. It's okay to give your burdens to the divine, whatever that may be for you. And that's genuinely what I'm seeing for like pound number 3. It's just, it's okay to exist and it's okay to want to lean on someone. Obviously, if you feel like also comfortable with talking to someone else, like a friend or something, but sometimes it's best to learn how to be yourself and be comfortable within yourself. And I think that is a wish that you want, and Nehemiah is here to help grant that wish. But that's all I'm seeing for pile number 3. You guys have a wonderful day. Love you guys. Bye.